What if I told you that the simple act of eating could actually be a form of meditation? I know, it sounds a little out there, but today we're going to dive into a philosophy that does exactly that. We're putting Zen on a plate. Okay, so let's start with this simple but honestly pretty powerful idea. Every single meal you eat, it's not just food, right? It's actually a direct reflection of your state of mind. Think about it. Your meal is your mirror. I mean, for a lot of us, this is what eating really looks like, doesn't it? It's fast, we're totally distracted, maybe hunched over a desk, scrolling through our phones. It's just mindless consumption. But what if we could approach the table totally differently? With some real intention, being fully present, and with a deep sense of mindfulness. And that contrast right there, that leads us to the big question we're tackling today. What if the actual design of your meal could change the entire design of your life? It's a huge thought, I know.
So, to even begin to answer that, we've got to shift our whole perspective. We have to start seeing that what's on the plate isn't just food, it's a deep, really intentional philosophy.
And this is a really fundamental shift in thinking. Because in Japanese culinary tradition, that beautiful, artful presentation of food, it's not just decoration. It's not there just to make things look pretty. A meal is a message. It's a physical, tangible expression of a whole philosophical outlook. Okay, so how exactly is this philosophy expressed? Well, the very first pillar is something known as the wisdom of time, or shun.
Shun is this absolutely beautiful and honestly deeply meaningful practice of eating foods when they are at their absolute peak. It's all about celebrating an ingredient at that one perfect moment when it's the most flavorful, the most nutritious, and the most abundant in nature. It's really an act of getting in sync with the seasons.
And when you think about it, the contrast is, well, it's pretty stark. Our modern pantries are built on these massive global supply chains, right? Which means we can get strawberries in the dead of winter. But a shun pantry? That's guided by a totally different principle. It's local, it's patient, and it waits to savor asparagus in the spring because that is its one perfect moment. All right, the next core principle is just as profound. But this one, it focuses not on what's there, but on what isn't. This is the power of emptiness, or ma. So ma is the idea of negative space, and this is key, it's an active, intentional space. It's the purposeful use of emptiness on a plate to actually highlight and give importance to the food that is there. See, the space isn't just empty. It's framing the subject. It's giving it room to breathe, to really be seen and appreciated. Think about it. The silence between notes is what makes a melody. The pause in a conversation is what gives words their weight. That empty space, that moment to just breathe, that is ma. It's the quiet that allows things to be truly seen. Okay, so we've got these two really powerful ideas, shun and ma, respecting time and respecting space. But what happens when we actually apply them? Well, this is where we discover how beauty can literally change our behavior. You see, when a meal is put together with this kind of visual harmony, it kind of quietly rewires your habits from the inside out. And this isn't about willpower. It's not about forcing yourself to eat slower. The design of the meal itself does all the heavy lifting for you. And here's how that chain reaction works. First, your eyes see that visual balance. And what do? You naturally pause to take it all in. And because you've paused, your pace of eating just automatically slows down. Now that you're slower, your other senses, smell, touch, taste, they have time to catch up and really engage. And the result of all that? Your mind becomes present. You're not just consuming anymore, you're truly experiencing. And all of this brings us to the real takeaway here. This whole practice, this whole philosophy on a plate, it's about so much more than just food. It really becomes a lesson in how to live. Think about it. When you see something that's truly beautiful, like a sunset, a piece of art, or, a perfectly put together plate of food, what's your first instinct? It's not to rush, right? It's to stop, to pause, and just appreciate it. In that way, beauty teaches us restraint. And by focusing only on what's essential, by celebrating ingredients in their most perfect, simple state, by clearing away all the clutter, we find clarity. It's amazing how simplicity can restore balance, not just to our plates, but to our minds too. So when you put these ideas together, the restraint that comes from beauty and the balance that comes from simplicity, the most basic, everyday human act gets totally transformed. Eating becomes this incredible lesson in how to live with intention, with presence,
And, with a bit of grace.
Because ultimately, this shows us it's not just about what you eat, but how you eat. So I'll leave you with this final question. What will your next meal teach you?